Hi, love. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Kayali Cole, and this space is for women learning how to love from power, not panic. Around here, we talk about healing, femininity, boundaries, and all the lessons life keeps on trying to teach us each day. The kind that help you with building peace that actually lasts. And if you've been part of this community for a while, welcome back. Queen, I'm happy to have you here. You already know we're here to grow, not just glow. Tonight, we're talking about something we don't talk about enough, what it really means to feel safe in peace after chaos, after a bad relationship, after a divorce, after someone really has broken your heart. You know what I realized? Sometimes peace can feel scarier than pain. You pray for calm, say you're ready for steady, and then when it shows up, your body doesn't even know what to do with it. And that's what we're going to tackle tonight. It's like we spent so many years surviving chaos that calm feels suspicious. It's it's unknown, it's unfriendly, it's not what we're used to. I remember the first time I sat in real silence after a heartbreak. No arguing, no explaining, no trying to be understood, just quiet. And my chest started to ache. Not because something was wrong, but because my nervous system was so used to reacting that peace felt like withdrawal, like an actual drug. See, a lot of us grew up mistaking tension for connection. When love came with highs and lows, we called it passion. When somebody ignored us and came back, we called it chemistry. When we had to prove we were worth staying for, we called it love. But babes, that wasn't love. That was survival dressed up. It was dressed up as romance, and it wasn't it. And here's a part that hurts. Your body doesn't forget chaos overnight. You can block his number, burn the sage, journal your affirmations, and still something in you will miss the very thing you prayed to be delivered from. That's not weakness. That's wiring. That's your nervous system, darling. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. It's what happens when affection comes unpredictably. Sometimes warm, it's sometimes cold. Your brain releases dopamine in anticipation, not in certainty. So you get addicted to the maybe. Maybe he'll text. Maybe he'll change. Maybe this time will be different. When peace finally arrives, no, maybe, just quiet, your brain doesn't give you the same dopamine hit. So it whispers, this must be boring. But peace isn't boring, it's healing, disguised as stillness. When adrenaline stops, your nervous system has to relearn what safety feels like. It's not withdrawal, it's recalibration. That's why calm feels weird at first. You're not broken, you're just adjusting. This is your new normal. The problem is, stillness doesn't perform. It doesn't chase. It doesn't plead. It just is. And when you spent years measuring love by chaos, just being feels empty, but it's not. It's everything you've been asking God for. I had to teach myself how to stop mistaking calm for lack. I used to sit across from kind men and think there was like no spark there. Girl, the spark was my anxiety lighting itself on fire. If it didn't make me overthink, I thought it wasn't real. If he wasn't hard to read, I thought he wasn't worth the chapter. But love that's healthy doesn't make you decode it. It makes you exhale. You get to breathe. You know that moment when you met someone who doesn't raise your heart rate? They lower it? That's peace. And when your trauma's unhealed, you call that calm no chemistry. You don't feel those butterflies. But when you are healed, you call that calmness home. So let me tell you a story. There was a season I was drawn to men who'd made me feel small, but I thought they made me feel wanted. They chase, disappear, then chase again. And I got confused by inconsistency, but there was passion there. When I finally dated someone steady, it was uncomfortable. He was calm, patient, consistent, and my body thought, something is off. I'm not getting that chemistry. No, love, nothing was off with me. I was finally safe. Peace is supposed to feel like exhaling, not performing, but healing takes practice. Every time you want to text that ex just to check in, that's your body craving that old high. Every time you scroll his page hoping for a post, that's your brain replaying an old dopamine loop. When that twitch hits, don't panic. Breathe. That discomfort isn't danger, it's detox. You're detoxing from adrenaline, from the belief that love must hurt first to feel real. Detox doesn't feel pretty, it feels empty. But emptiness isn't always loss. Sometimes it's space for something softer to grow, for you to grow. If peace feels boring, maybe drama's been doing your marketing. It's been doing too much in your life. Peace doesn't beg to be noticed. It just exists. That's why so many people overlook it. We get addicted to extremes. We want fireworks. That chemistry just explode. But fireworks burn out and peace glows steady. You ever sit at home, everything quiet, no messages coming in, and suddenly you feel lonely? That's the moment peace knocks. It's not loneliness. It's your spirit adjusting to silence. That silence isn't punishment. It's a sound of no one lying to you. No drama, no confusion. It's a sound of boundaries working. When God removes chaos from your life, He's not leaving you empty. He's clearing interference. You can't hear divine direction over noise. Sometimes the quiet after chaos is His way of saying, now can you hear me again? Are you listening? But we don't like that part. We start calling back the distractions just to fill the silence, to fill the gap. I used to pray for peace, then 2 days later, text the very man who was the chaos. That's like praying for rest and drinking espresso. It doesn't go together at all. Peace won't chase you. You have to slow down long enough to recognize it. And here's what I've learned. You can't heal while standing in the same noise that broke you. You have to step back, breathe, and be the brave enough person you are to let stillness feel strange just for a little while. That's how you rewire your nervous system. Not by reading affirmations once, but by living them daily. By noticing when you start to spiral and saying, no, we're safe now. By naming the anxious voice and talking back with truth. I used to call that voice of mine Felicia. Every time she showed up trying to make me overthink or chase, I'd say, bye, Felicia. It sounds silly, but it works. And it did work. And it's still working because awareness breaks patterns. When you can laugh at the reflex instead of obey it, that's mastery. You get to detect it and how she's pulling you backwards and not forwards. Healing doesn't mean you stop missing them. It means you stop betraying yourself to have them. You stop reopening doors God already locked. You stop thinking closure is a conversation when it's really a decision you have to make. When you truly love yourself, you don't beg people to stay. You trust that what's meant for you doesn't need convincing. You stop resurrecting what peace buried. Whew. Let me tell you something about God's kind of love. It won't rush you, it won't confuse you, and it won't make you question if you're enough. His peace doesn't require performance. It asks for presence. When someone keeps you guessing every week, that's not divine alignment. That's divine redirection. He's showing you he can't go where you're going. He's not growing where you're growing. So today, if peace feels uncomfortable, stay with it. Breathe through the itch to reach backwards. Don't text, don't scroll, don't feel the silence, just to sit there. And just take some time and calm your nerves. Put your hand on your heart and say, this is what safety feels like. That's how you build a new normal. You're allowed to outgrow adrenaline. You're allowed to feel safe. You're allowed to have calm that lasts longer than chaos ever did. And the day stillness stopped feeling scary, that's the day peace finally moved in. It's at home now. If this spoke to you, Queen, hit like, share, and share it with a sister or friend who's learning to protect her peace. And don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications because we're building 5,000 queens strong, one peaceful heart at a time. Have a great day, love.